Hey y'all, welcome to Bojo Mojo Designs. I'm Brandy. This is my first actual video, and I thought I would start off by showing you guys one of my art journals. This is the very first book that I hand bound, and it's got a hard cover and a cloth binding or cloth cover, I suppose. It is case bound. You can see the top there and the edges. I didn't cut the papers after they were all bound together, and I'm finding that I'm having a very difficult time with that, so whatever. Anyway, this journal actually started off being just kind of as a doodle journal, and then I decided that I would take it kind of towards a little bit more of a faith journal. So it's got some doodles, it's got some faith stuff in it, but I also want to just include kind of my daily life and thoughts and prayers and just kind of what we're up to during our lives. So, and why not make it pretty and artistic? Because that makes everything better. So anyway, here's a look at it. Nice little quote there. That's my puppy Bella. And it's not a fantastic page, but there it is. This is the very first stuff that I actually did in here. I had this all drawn out one night at Molly's, while I was waiting for Molly at dance. And when I got home, I watercolored it. So you can see that the watercolor actually did a really good job. It didn't kind of bend the pages up too much. It did a little bit more because I also did a wash on this side. So it's not perfect, but I use an aqua brush when I watercolor usually, and you don't need to use a lot of water with those, so it works really good for this. This is 60-pound cardstock, so it's not specifically made for watercolors, but it does do a reasonable job just for this kind of a journal purpose. So then I drew part of a mandala over here, used some scrap paper to just balance out some color. This again was drawn one night at dance. Actually, this was kind of over several nights. And then I decided to add some color. I don't really like the way that looks. I wish I wouldn't have done it, but Molly says it's fine, so whatever. This is probably my least favorite page right now. But, you know, you're going to have those, and that's okay. It doesn't much matter. But I thought I'd kind of add a little fold out. There you can see it says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Be happy, happy." So that's just kind of fun. And then this is called blackout poetry. And you just take a book or a page from a book and block out all of the words that you don't find interesting. The words that you do find interesting, you highlight in some way, shape, or form. This page is from the book A Separate Piece by John Knowles, who this happened to be one of my favorite books when I was in high school. And I did some other art projects with it because I had 2 copies of it. So how the poem reads is, "Isolated, I took a wrong step. I lost my balance. Obstinate, competitive, his mind became engaged for the first time, almost as though silences had a heavy hum of their own. Then someone else spoke up." So it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's just kind of an interesting way of looking at words, which I find quite enjoyable because I like words. So this is a lettering challenge that I practiced. The pen that I used is a Pentel. Here, I'll show you. It's a Pentel touch pen, and it's called a sign pen. And that's a brush tip. Even though it doesn't look like it, it really, really is, I promise. And I had to order it online. I think it was like $5, something like that. I ordered it from Amazon. It's a great pen, and I love it. The one thing that I always forget is that it actually needs a little bit of drying time, so I did make some smudges here. But again, you can see I watercolored my little flower doodles, washi taped the sides, or the edge, a little bit. Over here I did another mandala, and I might do a video about how to do those. They're a lot of fun. They're really therapeutic. And they're really actually pretty easy to make too. I know that my daughter really enjoyed, I had the circles drawn out, and then she did all the fill-in work and really enjoyed it and had a fun time with that too. And along the side, afterwards, I just did a purple wash. And I thought that kind of turned out neat. But see, the pages, you know, they haven't really buckled a bunch. So this is just doodles. I was bored at dance. I spend a lot of time at dance with Molly, and mostly in the car, listening to podcasts and doodling. So that's what I do. Here I was just practicing letters again. I dropped some water from a paintbrush, so that got all smudgy, but oh well. This is the time when I decided that I was going to kind of maybe use this more as a faith-based journal and kind of sort of commemorate my walk with the Lord through art and journaling. I've never been very good at being consistent with the journal, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So I've been trying to practice more gratitude lately, and that's a good thing, because a thankful heart is a happy heart, and who doesn't want to be happy, right? So anyway, I did a watercolor wash back here. I really love rainbows. I always have since I was a little girl, so you'll probably see a lot of rainbow stuff in my life. The sides are just washi tape. I used some gel pens to draw this little flower. I don't know if the light is picking up, but it kind of has a glittery, shimmery effect to it. And then on this inside page, I just wrote down some of the things that I'm particularly thankful for. My husband and my kids, our house, and the memories that we have made and are making here, our church family, and then some friends of ours that are kind of second parents to our son. And they just love him like their own, and we love them. We've known them since high school and been friends with them for a lot of years. I'm not even going to tell you because it's a lot. Anyway, so I just wrote down 1 Chronicles 16, 8 through 12 right here. Again, more scrap paper. I love using up my scraps because who doesn't want to, like, I waste. It's so wasteful. So this here, I received this card actually a couple weeks ago from my pastor's wife, and it was just really special to me. It was about prayer, and I had it on my bulletin board, and finally the other day I was like, I'm just going to stick it in my notebook and kind of write a little bit about it. And so I added this verse from Philippians above it, again, a little bit of watercolor, and then I drew these hands back here that are praying, and then I wrote out a prayer over them. So my grandmother used to paint praying hands like all the time when she was younger, and they were just beautiful. I don't have her talent when it comes to painting, but that was fun and I enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun. This was last night. My daughter and I were invited to go see a Portland Winterhawks game, which is our hockey team here in Oregon, and they're a junior team. So we got some complimentary tickets from one of the dance moms, and so we all went, and here are some of the dancers in Molly's class. That's Molly. She's the short one. But these are some of her friends from dance, and of course, you know, they're dancers. They have to practice dance, and so here they are doing their bar work. So here I made a little envelope, and I drew the mascot, and I apologize, Portland. I did not do a great job on that mascot, but I did my best in a very short amount of time because I was running late. But that's just to hold our tickets. And I put Dancers Gotta Dance because there they are, dancing. Then on this side, in front of the Moda Center, there's this fountain, and there's the flame back here. And there's this big sign that says Rip City. And so the girls wanted to pose there and take a picture. And just journaled about it. Just, you know, kind of wrote down how fun it was. The game was incredible. And we just had a really good time spending time with our dance friends. Molly has made some wonderful, wonderful friends through dance. And I've been super blessed to make some really wonderful mom friends through dance. So it's a good thing. And then this was my page from this morning's Bible reading. And I read Psalm 37. And boy, oh boy, that psalm is chock full of stuff. And it's always struck me as like there's a few things that it says from at the outset of the chapter that says, do not do these things. And then there's this whole list of, but do these instead. And the do these, things is like trust, do good, cultivate faithfulness, rest in God, delight yourself in God. Just, all these good things. And it's just so simple because there's some don't do's and there's some do's. There's no like gray area there. Scripture just spells it out really, really solidly and says what we're supposed to be doing, even in this time of where everything feels kind of a little bit shaky and kind of scary in our country, to be honest. And as believers, we're instructed to not fret over the evildoers and to not envy the wrongdoers, or worry because evil people prosper. So I think it's easy sometimes to get kind of caught up in the politics and in the news and all of that. And it's important to be aware of what's going on. But I think it's also important that no matter what is going on, we're still called to love and trust in God. And trusting in God doesn't mean that we turn a blind eye to what's happening, but it also doesn't mean that we sit around and freak out about every little thing that's happening. We just love people, and we need to love people where they're at, and be obedient to God. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox now. So you can see I've got a lot of pages left. You can tell that they weren't cut. They're pretty rough, but that's okay. I don't mind. So I make these books. I've got another one over here, and this is going to be a book that I'm going to use to write down my legacy, my story, my own personal history. And it's just blank right now, but it's also got the cardstock in it. So I make these books. If you're interested in checking those out, you can find me at Etsy. It's Bojo Mojo Designs. And I'd love to see you there. I'd love to see you on my Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. Everywhere I am at Bojo Mojo Designs. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.